Okay, so this is gonna be more of a rant style video. I'm not gonna have a bunch of things popping in and out like I normally do. It's not gonna be as heavily edited as you normally are expecting it to be. So bear with me here. But if you're new here, please hit the like button and subscribe button. We're making videos all playoff long, especially on the Heat because they're my favorite team. And they've been doing pretty well and people seem to be enjoying them. So if you like basketball content and you like the Miami Heat and you would like some content for this NBA Finals, please hit the like button and subscribe button. And don't even think that just because the finals end, the content's gonna stop. We're gonna be uploading all off season long. Let's get to it. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the NBA and its media. Actually, I do know what's going on. They're rating hunting and they just don't know what's going on in Miami because they haven't been watching them all season long. But for some reason, every single person's take or view of this team has constantly been wrong, time and time again. Whether it's Jay Williams, already, even though the season isn't already over, going to next season, talking about the contenders, and having the Sixers and Suns in the contenders and Miami Heat nowhere near in there, even though we spanked three of those teams every single freaking year that we touched the freaking playoffs. Whether it's Boston Celtics fans being mad about Jason Tatum's ankle, like they didn't try to pull apart Jimmy's knee last season. Whether Stephen A. Smith getting mad at Mad Dog for saying that Jimmy Butler is better than Jaylen Brown. A lot of the media coverage has been pissing me off a lot lately, and it's not necessarily because Miami isn't getting a lot of attention, because I really don't care if you give us a lot of attention, really. My whole gripe with it sometimes is the fact that the way they cover this team is the large reason why guys like Jimmy don't make an all-star team. Even though Jimmy doesn't want to make the all-star team, he doesn't care about it. An overall fan and a legacy of this man in himself, it does play a big part when you look at all-star appearances or all-NBA first-team appearances and things of that nature that he doesn't get because you don't cover this team that well. When you look at guys like Bam that hasn't made an all-NBA defensive first team, hasn't made an all-NBA team, and people talk about him like he's some scrub, when the man does every single thing on the court and has more responsibility as a basketball player and as a center, then I'm pretty sure every other center in the league other than Nikola Jokic, and even then I don't even think Nikola Jokic has the defensive responsibility that Bam has. Bam every single 2 seconds is having to either switch onto your guards, having to play drop coverage or play up on bigs. He's anchoring a zone every 2 seconds. He's the reason why every single second he comes off the court, teams go on a run. That's because defensively he anchors this team to an absolute insane level. And then on the offensive end, he is the offensive hub. He's in DHO actions with Tyler Hero when he's healthy, with Max Strus, with Duncan Robinson. He's hitting guys on backdoor cuts when he has the ball at the nail. He's the guy hitting Jimmy Butler for some of his shots. He's picking apart defenses and he's the one making the decisions. And also he has a responsibility to be able to at least make some shots and score at least 15 or 20 points. Now the past couple games that's not been the mark for him, but he's also in game 7 when people were talking about how bad he was, he had a damn near triple double. Things like this just happen, okay? So his scoring sometimes is just a plus, but people talk about him like he's overall a scrub just because he doesn't score 20 every single freaking game. It bothers me when people talk about Tyler Hero like he's going to affect this team completely every single time because he's a defensive liability, acting like we don't play Duncan Robinson and Max Strus all the damn time, or even Kyle Lowry sometimes, who hasn't given us anything offensively in the past couple freaking games. They ignore the fact that he's Bam's best pick and roll partner and he's the one that gets him involved all the damn time. They ignore the fact that that man skill set would have been perfect for the Milwaukee Bucks in Boston series because he is literally a pull-up and 3-level scoring machine. They ignored the simple fact that against the Nuggets, his skill set would be freaking amazing to have on this team right now. And I don't know why people just chalk him up as a guy that is, you know, high volume, low efficiency, and can't play defense. Like they just don't watch this freaking team play because he's our literal best playmaker on the court at any given freaking night. It bothers me sometimes that even though Sportspo is getting a lot of recognition, which he does definitely freaking deserve because he's been absolutely amazing as a coach for this team, they act like that it's only he's the only reason why this team is doing well and not that Miami literally plays 100% every single freaking possession and absolutely torches teams by executing their game plan to the absolute T every single game, unlike other teams that aren't disciplined and don't do what the Miami Heat do. I'm just pissed because these guys play so hard and they do so well and they get so little respect, and there's a reason why they don't get some of the awards and the recognition they deserve. And then it's the reason why every single time we play a team, we beat them this postseason so far. It's not the fact that we out executed them, and not even the fact that we understand our game plan and we have a better game plan than them. It's not the fact that our players are more talented than these guys do and they play harder. It's always the fact that other teams beat themselves and don't play up to their own standards, and the Miami Heat just get luck into some of these wins. And they don't act like the Miami Heat are the reason why these teams don't play up to their standard, and the defense isn't why these teams play this bad. We've been playing Boston's 3 of the last 4 freaking years. We know that team like the back of our freaking hand. We've been forcing Jaylen Brown left for the past 3 out of the last 4 years. We've been staying on Tatum and making a decision making in the fourth quarter 3 out of the past 4 freaking years. We've been leaving Marcus Smart to shoot threes 3 out of the past 4 freaking years. We understand that team, and there's a reason why we're able to take them. We're one of the best teams that defend the Milwaukee Bucks. Bam Adebayo was able to hold Giannis to 2 of 13 freaking shooting in a damn fourth quarter of an elimination game to win that freaking series. I don't understand where people get these type of takes from when it comes to the Miami Heat team. Actually, I do understand where they get it from. They just don't watch freaking basketball and they're only hot take hunting all the damn time. It's the reason why I'm happy that... Actually not, because Skip is one of the only people that actually is giving Miami any credit. So maybe Undisputed going isn't even a good thing, because Miami not get any credit at all anymore. And it pisses me off even more when you have people, even on NBA Twitter, that you expect to at least have a little semblance of understanding basketball, like the Legends of Winnings, like the B-Souls, in certain areas when they talk about this team, because they pick against them in every single round. Now I understand why you didn't have them against the Milwaukee Bucks, because they can handle because Milwaukee was the number 1 seed, and Miami at the time hasn't shown anything that would say that they could beat them. But after they beat them, having anybody picking the Knicks to beat this team is absolutely freaking mind-numbing. They were the only team in this playoffs that I sat there and just like, I'm already looking at Boston. Even when they won 2 games and we were going to game 6, I'm just like, we're gonna handle this shit, because that series should have been over in 4 if Jimmy's ankle wasn't bad. People are talking about this Boston series, talking about Tatum's ankle like Jimmy didn't get his ankle kicked in game 1 of the semifinals and has not been the same since. He was averaging 37 points per game in the 6 games before that, and he's been averaging 24 since. That's not some he's tired or he's flaming out. It's literally because the man just doesn't have the same type of burst and can't get up like he did in the first couple series, because that man's ankle's hurting. You heard what he said after when they asked about his ankle before the NBA Finals. He literally said, "Nobody cares. I'm still expected to do my job." That's not what a healthy freaking man says. That man's ankle is hurting. People act like Bam is not scoring just because he sucks at that. The man's been dealing with a hamstring and shoulder injury the entire freaking playoffs long. And again, I don't understand. I understand, because nobody's gonna care about injuries. If you're on the court, you're supposed to play to the best of your ability, and that's simply that. But people just don't want to add context to anything that they're watching. The only reason that Boston series even went as hard as it did is because one of our best pick and roll defenders and a guy that was able to give us consistent offense was playing great, and Gabe Vincent missed an entire freaking game. Our 3rd best scorer hasn't played the entire playoffs yet. One of our best perimeter, I'd say our 2nd best perimeter defender in Victor Oladipo, has not played in the past since game 1 of the first freaking round. Oh my god, I'm just so tired of the bias and understanding coverage that this team gets. We have been one of the best teams in the NBA for the 3 of the last 4 years. We weren't getting picked to do anything when we were the first seed, and now that we've beaten every single team that's come against us, even when as an 8th seed, we still don't get the respect we deserve. And I really wouldn't care about the respect if it didn't affect how these guys are viewed by a lot of fans and the media. Bam should have an all-defensive first team and probably should have a defensive player of the year trophy by now. Again, even though the award is kind of cursed in my ass, Coach Spo should definitely have a Coach of the Year trophy by now. Jimmy Butler, there's no reason why he shouldn't have been an all-star this year. And Tyler Hero, he's just looked at as a guy that's in that Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Simons role that just has not been able to get it done. And it's just, one of those guys that's a high volume offense with no type of defense. Like he hasn't improved every single year in almost every single facet of his freaking game. He's not some chair in the defensive end. The man's gotten better every single year of his career. He's one of our best playmakers. He's the reason why Bam gets so many easy shots sometimes, and he's our best guy in the pick and roll. You know what? I really hope we do win these finals. I understand that Denver is our biggest test, and that team offensively is just a freaking juggernaut. It's going to be hard for the Miami Heat either freaking way. But I truly do hope that they find a way to pull this out and they stick a middle finger to every single freaking take that anybody has. I truly hope Bam's offense finally starts clicking again, and hopefully his shoulder feels better so they take them out. I truly hope Jimmy's ankle feels a little bit better for this series and he's able to explode like he did in the Bucks series and we can actually get some shit done. Denver is one of the few teams that I truly has not been a fucking asshole of fan base so far, and their players aren't cocky as shit and aren't assholes. I enjoy Aaron Gordon actually giving Jimmy Butler the respects he deserves. I enjoy Jokic saying that it's a Miami Heat versus the Denver Nuggets and not Jamal Murray. Not Bam Adebayo versus Nikola Jokic. I enjoy Mac Malone saying, I don't care about the seeding. It's going to be our hardest test yet. That's the respect this team deserves, and that's the respect they should have garnered for what they've been doing this entire playoffs long. But we'll see what happens in the NBA Finals. That being said, this is FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.